Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. In this specific video, we are going to create a HubSpot CRM card by using a HubSpot project, which is currently in beta, and display all kinds of information from inside our HubSpot portal, but also by using external data. This is currently in beta and only available if you have Sales Hub Enterprise or Service Hub Enterprise, but if you do, then this is a really cool functionality to try out. Now let's start by creating a HubSpot project. Right now I am inside my HubSpot portal and I opted in for the CRM development beta. And this will add a new UI in my HubSpot portal that will allow me to create a HubSpot project. It will allow me to play around with GraphQL. We have a UI extensions playground, which is really nice if you want to create a CRM card. And we can view any of the private apps that are created in this specific portal. We also have a lot of documentation available in this specific screen, but I'm going to show you how to create a project and a CRM card step by step. Now, in this case, we are going to use the terminal and the HubSpot CLI to create a CRM card and a project. And it is quite easy to create a HubSpot project. I'm going to create a new folder and I'm going to navigate to that specific folder. I'm going to authenticate with HubSpot. And so there we go, and I'll do this in a different screen. Let me search for the right portal. There it is. I'm going to continue with that account. I'm going to copy my personal access key and I'm going to move my screen so you do not get to see my personal access key. And now I authenticated with my HubSpot portal. Now this is quite a basic process that most of you probably will already know. But now comes the next step, which is pretty nice. We are going to create a HubSpot project, and we can do so by using the HubSpot CLI and passing it the command hs project create. And this will start a prompt and gives me the chance to give my project a name. I'm going to call it Bright Project again, which is going to be a bit confusing in my folder structure in a minute, but we'll fix that later on. And I'm going to start with the Getting Started template, which is a really nice way to start working with projects. And you will also have a really nice guide inside your HubSpot portal available, which is called the Quick Start Guide. Right now it's creating a project, and if we take a look at my folder structure, it's taking a second to load. You'll see that we have my HubSpot config and we have a Bright Project folder, which is our current project. Now inside this folder we have a hsproject.json, and in this JSON file, we can specify our project name and we can specify the directory that this project should be looking at. You also see that I have a source folder available, and this already contains a bit information for an example card. Now let's quickly go over the files that we have right here. The first thing you see is that we have an app.json file. And the app.json file is going to contain all the information about our project. So in this case, I'm going to rename it to Bright Project. I'll leave the description as it is right now. And below that, you see that we have the option to set scopes. Right now, we only have the contact scope, and we have the possibility to create an update context, and we have the possibility to read from our contact records. But you can add whatever scopes you need for this specific project inside this array. You also see that we have an extensions object inside our JSON file. And inside that extensions object, we have an object called CRM and then cards. And this is the first clue of what we're going to do. we are going to create a HubSpot CRM card. Now, the CRM cards object is an array. This means that you can create multiple CRM cards from a single project, which is kind of nice. Otherwise, you would have to create a new project for each CRM card that you want in your CRM. And inside each element in our array, we have to specify a file. And in this case, it's pointing to our example card.json. But I could create a new JSON file and add that as a second card inside this array. But I'm skipping that for now. Let's start with the example card in this specific project. If we take a look at the example card.json, we can see that we have specified that we are wanting to create a CRM card. And we can give it a nice name. We can specify the location of our CRM card, and if we specify CRM record tab, it will display in the middle pane of our records. But we could also move it to the sidebar by updating this to crm.record.sidebar. Below that we have a fetch object, and this is going to be used to determine where the functionality of our CRM card will be stored. In this case, you will see that we have a target function called CRM card, and I'll show you where that is pointing in a second. And we have the object types where we want to display this specific CRM card. For now, we're going to use the context object, but you could use the company's object, you could use the deals object, and you could even use custom objects to display your specific CRM card. We can specify the properties that we want to use in our CRM card of the record that is being viewed. So if you have a record inside your HubSpot CRM called Brian Halligan or Dennis Edson or whatever, and then you can retrieve the first name and last name of that specific record and display it in your CRM card. So this is quite important, but if you want multiple object types to display your new custom CRM card on, then you can simply extend the array by adding new objects to it. I'm going to stick with the context for now. And I'm going to take a look at a second folder that I have available in my project. Now, in this specific folder, we have a app.functions folder. But if you take a look at the documentation of the CRM cards, you'll see that they can also name this folder Serverless. It doesn't really matter. The name of this folder isn't that important, but the content of this specific folder is. The first thing we see is that we have a serverless.json file. And in the serverless.json file, we are specifying the Node.js version. We are specifying app functions. And here you see the name again that was also available in our example card.json file. So here we have CRM card as a target function, and in our serverless.json we specify that specific function in the app functions object, and we'll tell our project which JavaScript file it should look at. Now we also have the option to pass a secret, and a secret inside a project is used to store whatever you want. But you could also store a private app token from your specific project inside the secrets and use that inside your JavaScript file to authenticate with the HubSpot API, which is really nice if you want to use GraphQL inside your CRM card functionality. But let's take a look at the basics and see what we have in our example. Now, our example card JavaScript file, which is being pointed to by our serverless.json, contains a bit of basic JavaScript. we have imported Axios, which is being used to make several API calls. And we will see that we have an exports function with a context parameter and a send response parameter. And these two are quite important. The context will have a bunch of information from your CRM card, but also from your project. And the send response function will be used to display all that information, all that data that we are building in this specific function inside your CRM card. So you'll see that the first thing that is happening right here is that we are accessing the context.properties to send. Now, if we take a look at our example card, you'll see that we have specified the properties to send right here. And in this case, we want to retrieve the first name and last name properties. So by specifying these properties, we can access those by accessing the context object and using the properties to send parameter. In this case, we have the first name, but also the last name available. And let me type that correctly. And then we have our first section. Now, let's explain a bit about all the different elements that you can use inside your CRM card, because it isn't only basic text. HubSpot has made a lot of UI elements available inside our CRM cards, and a great way to see what elements are available is to take a look at the UI extensions playground, which is available in the UI of the CRM development tools. Now, if I take a look at the components that we have available right here, you'll see that those are quite a lot. And if we take a look at the code, then the first type of section that is being used is a alert section. Now, if we take a look at the alert section and click on this one, we get a nice, really nice preview of our alert section. You also get the JSON that you can use inside your JavaScript file when you are creating your CRM card. In this case, it is set to type alert, but we can update it to other values. If I make this and let me try to type correctly. If I make this a success type, my bad, I'm using the wrong one. Right now it's an alert, but we can update the variant to something different. So if I add variant to my JSON and I update it to warning, you'll see that we have an orange box available. And if I update it to error, we get a red box available. And inside this playground, we have a lot of different sections available that you can all use in your CRM card to display the data that you are fetching or manipulating. So this is really nice. So definitely take a look at the extensions playground to see what you can use inside your CRM card. Now, if we take a look at our example card, you'll see that we are starting with alert, and then we have an array of different UI components. We have a divider, we have a heading with the value next steps, and we have a simple text element with the format markdown, which will allow you to add links or use bold text or italic text. And then we have something really cool. We are trying to make an API call to the zenquotes.io API, which will return a random quote each time the API request is being made. And then we are building a new section with different components, different UI components. We are using a tile. We are displaying the first name of the current contact record where this CRM card is being viewed on. We are telling him or her that we have a quote available. And then we are showing the data that we retrieve by making an Axios API call to the ZenQuotes API. So if I understand this correctly, it will probably show a random quote from zenquotes.io and display that in the CRM card that we created by using a project. We also have a nice little button, and this is cool because this button will trigger a functionality. In this case, the onClick event will trigger a serverless action hook and it will target the CRM card function. Now, if we are not mistaken, our CRM card function is the current JavaScript file. So by clicking on this specific button, it will re-trigger this JavaScript function and will probably retrieve a new random quote. Below, we have used the send response function that is used to create different sections inside our CRM card. So we have the intro message, which is passed in the sections array inside our send response function. We have the quote sections, which are these ones, and those are using the data that is being retrieved from the ZenQuotes API. And we have the next steps, and the next steps are defined right here, and those are using a few different components. So this is really cool. We also have a try catch functionality right here. So if we have an error, we will probably see the error inside our CRM card. But HubSpot is also offering a lot of monitoring tools and is allowing you to debug the CRM cards quite nice. So let's try to somehow get this functionality inside our HubSpot portal. We have created a project, but now we somehow need to get that project inside HubSpot. I have authenticated with my HubSpot portal. I'm going to navigate to my project folder, and like I said, this is quite confusing, but you can simply fix that by moving the files a folder higher. And I am going to use the functionality HS project upload. And this will start the following prompt. The project Bright project does not exist in my HubSpot portal. Would you like to create it? Yes, I definitely would. And then HubSpot will try to build our project inside HubSpot. And now it should be finished. So let's take a look at our HubSpot portal and let's navigate to the projects. And there it is. There is our first HubSpot project. And you'll see that we have a HubSpot project which contains a CRM card and also a function called CRM card. And this is all specified in the serverless.json, in the app.json, and all the config files that we have available in our project. You will also see that we have an activity tab, which will show the builds that we are doing and the deployments that HubSpot is doing. And we have the option to navigate to the settings. You can even set up a GitHub connection to auto-deploy each time you are pushing to your GitHub project. But let's take a quick look at our CRM card. Okay, normally we have two tabs available in our CRM card middle pane. We have overview and activities. In this case, because I deployed a project with a CRM card, we get a new tab called custom. And here it is. Here is our CRM card that we created using a HubSpot project. Now, if you remembered correctly, we had a button with a serverless action function pointing to our CRM card functionality. So if I click on this button, we should probably see something happening. And there it is. It is updating the quotes that are being shown on our CRM card. So this is really nice. And this is quite a basic example of how you could use the button and the form components that are available for HubSpot CRM cards. But you can imagine that there is a lot you can achieve by adding functionalities inside your CRM card. Let's say you have an invoice platform that you use besides HubSpot and you want to create an invoice from a deal record, then by using a custom CRM card, you could achieve that by adding a serverless action hook. So there are a lot of possibilities when you are using a HubSpot CRM card. So in this video, we created a HubSpot CRM card using a HubSpot project. And we used the getting started example to show you what the possibilities are of a specific CRM card. However, this is only a basic example. There is a lot that you can achieve by using a CRM card, either combined with GraphQL, different API calls, accessing data from an external platform, even adding new functionality on top of HubSpot by using form elements. So the sky is kind of the limit. In the next video, we will take a look at how you can use secrets and how you can use GraphQL to retrieve a lot of your HubSpot data and display that in a structured way inside a new CRM card. So make sure to follow me if you want to learn more about HubSpot development, or Bright Digital if you want to learn more about HubSpot in general. Thank you for watching and have a great day.